get started. Okay, so who would like to play first today? Let's kind of get the order going. Sanyang? Okay, cool, thank you. So we'll go kind of in, let's see, maybe Sanyang, I'll do counterclockwise based on my grid. So Sanyang, Lucy, Angie, Jennifer, and then Olivia. Is that good with everyone? Yeah, okay. Cool. So I just wanted to, before we get started, have a bit of a focus for this session. And that's going to be kind of trying to notice, we'll call them involuntary points of tension or little tics when you're performing and when you're under a little bit of stress. So yeah, let's use that to guide our feedback this week, noticing maybe, let's say if you've got tension in your neck or you do like a weird thing with your face. I am guilty of that one. Or like eyebrows, anything that's maybe not so voluntary. And of course, we'll also, sorry, let me turn that off. We'll also talk about just general feedback on playing. So yeah, let's get right into it. So Sonia, what will you be playing for us today?
I'll be playing the Fiorillo Etude number 28. Yeah, just the first half though. Yeah, the first page. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's like the lead. Nice clapping very nice, Sanyang. How did that go for you? What do you feel?
Actually, I was not so happy with this one because I just did a perfect run through, and then I think this is what the nerves are for, right? I mean, this is why we're doing this. Because I don't know, I was messing up in places I usually don't mess up in, and so it was just like at some point, I don't know. I think I felt distracted, probably.
Okay, interesting. What were you what were you thinking about? Like, were you thinking about the music, or was it maybe other things?
I think it's because, for example, I was just practicing. I mean, I had turned on a light, and so I was aware of, from the peripheral view, I could see the light, and then I could see, I mean, 5 screens, you know what I mean? Like instead of, I think that's what it is, that because when I record myself, so I use GarageBand, for example, so you don't really see anything, it's just black. And so when you record yourself, there's nothing distracting. So I think what I should do is maybe have something playing on a screen so that to mimic the movement of people, like, you know, something. Perhaps I could try that.
Actually, and I've never thought of that. That's a really good idea, at least to prepare for these kind of things. And I mean, who knows how long this will keep going. I know that for my in the beginning of the pandemic, my sister was doing, I want to say like a theater performance, and they weren't allowed to perform live. And this was the very beginning, so it was still unexpected. And they ended up putting a bunch of like stuffed animals all over the in the auditorium to kind of give the impression they were playing for someone. But I think that's actually a great idea, being able to play under distracting conditions, because sometimes you never know when you're playing a concert, depending on how formal it is. Sometimes they could be coughing, or like a baby's crying, like stuff like that. We want to be able to focus no matter what. But yeah, I would like to actually give you a second shot at it if you'd like to try, maybe at the end when we talk about when we get feedback for everyone. But yeah, I agree. I think I've heard you play it before with none of those little mistakes, so I think just a second shot will fix a lot of that. But before we get to that, any feedback from you guys? We've got a small group, so let's see if everyone can contribute something.
I think we were supposed to comment on things you might do when you're nervous.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I do these exact same things. For one thing, commenting if you make a mistake, and another is I think you laughed or smiled, which I do too. And I don't know if there's anything wrong with that, but that was just something you did. And as for other feedback, it sounded amazing. I thought it was really good. I was jealous of your poker face and still you smiled when you made a mistake.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll have to about that.
Yeah. Other feedback. I think a few times maybe you got stuck in the wrong part of the bow. I'm not sure if it was very fast, so I tried to catch that, but that's my only comment.
Yeah, thanks, Angie. That's some really, really good feedback. And I agree. I think, Sunny, you have like a very good poker face, as Angie was saying, and like you have a very good performance disposition. Like I can tell you have a lot of experience in performing. So that's a great example for the rest of us. But yes, when you did have those little mistakes, we did see it. Even though it went, it's a pretty, I would say, casual performance environment, and it went pretty quickly. That's maybe something that we can try to work on, or just like power through it, pretend you didn't do it, and maybe no one will hear it. What about you, Lucy? Any feedback?
I thought it was really good. It sounded really nice to listen to, and it sounded like there were two violins playing at the same time, which I thought was really cool. Also, I noticed that your wrist when you were playing was like really loose, especially towards the beginning. So I thought that was really good, and your bow strokes were really nice.
Thank you. That's what I've been working on, this. Keeping it loose, yeah.
Cool. What about you, Jennifer?
Yeah, I thought it sounded very nice. And as Angie said, like the first mistake, I didn't hear it, but I saw you smile and I do the same thing. So the fact that I saw you smile, I knew that there is a mistake, but I didn't hear it the first time. So.
Okay, that's awesome to know. Do you want to try it again, Sanyang? Now that you're all kind of warmed up.
Thank you.
The first one, because it's pretty short, and we have a small group today, so we've got plenty.
You sure, or does everyone want to go first? Or I can also go now.
Let's go for it, I think.
Okay, well, thank you. Sure. Okay, I'll try that. Yeah. All right.
And yeah, keep that poker face going.
That's right. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, that's so much better.
Thank you.
Great. It was great.
Thank you. And also thanks for giving me a second try. And
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we could just get started with the second try?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did it? What felt different this time around? Because on my end, I'm curious to hear as to what you guys said, but I think it was actually a lot more musical. Not saying that the first time wasn't, but I just felt like you were thinking a lot more about the phrases this time and trying to bring those out, and it worked. So yeah, how did it feel in your end?
That's actually what I was aiming for, and to think, okay, enjoy the music. And I thought, okay, what am I playing? What's the song that I'm trying to, I guess, communicate or to present. So I think that's what I was doing. And I think before I was getting caught up, I think in the notes.
And like, string crossings and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then I tried not to worry so much about the tempo and just think, okay,
awesome.
what's the music? Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm glad it came through apparently. So
hey, awesome. Cool. Well, let's keep going. But that was really good, Sanyang. Like, good for you. I think we're ready to move on from this etude, or maybe we'll finish up the second half. But I think that it worked on a lot of good things, especially with the wrist. So, yeah, thank you for playing. And Lucy, what are you gonna play today?
I'm gonna play the Concerto in A minor, the first movement.
Yes, by who?
Bach.
Well, has anyone else played this one before? You guys have? Okay, cool. And this is your first performance on this, right?
I think I did it last.
Okay, second performance.
I think this happened the last time too.
Lucy, sorry to interrupt, but you've cut.
I think it's the same spot.
Very nice, Lucy. You cut out a little bit, but you kept going, and we actually were able to hear the part that cut out last time. They were a little staggered. But very, very good. How did that feel in your second performance?
It was better than last time. I was less nervous.
Awesome. So I'd like to get feedback now, because you've been on this piece for a while and you obviously know it very, very well. Like, you have it in your fingers. And now we're kind of at the last 10% polishing phase, which is the hardest part, because you have to go from something that's good to something great. So I'd love to hear feedback from you guys as to what you guys think would be the next step for Lucy to get this even better. Now that she knows all the notes, she's able to perform it without mistakes, and it was all memorized too, right? Oh, okay. And
no.
Besides memorization, but I think you have it pretty close to memorized, though. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, maybe we'll start with you, Sanyang.
I thought that your intonation was very good. I mean, it's Bach is so hard, right, in terms of that. I also liked your, I think all the runs that you did. I think the next thing that you could do is perhaps working more on the dynamics, because I found that your phrasing has improved so much since the last time I heard it, because you could really hear the different sections. The emotions also came through, all the melodies. But I think if you worked a little bit more on the dynamics, then I think it would shape the phrases a bit more. But I think it's really good already. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sanyang. I definitely agree with that. What about you, Jennifer?
I thought it was really good, and like, I don't know what to say to improve.
Fair enough. Maybe we'll come back to you then if you have something later. How about you, Angie?
I thought it sounded really good. Sun Young said the intonation was really great, and so was your vibrato. It was very slow and calm, something I'm struggling with. And I was gonna say dynamics too, more musicality through dynamics. I don't know how else she could do that, but it might just be Zoom too, because I know sometimes dynamics don't translate well over Zoom. So
Yeah.
more musicality somehow, dynamics, vibrato, something like that. And your poker face was brilliant. I wish I had that.
It was super relaxed the whole time. You actually, I didn't really see many kind of unnecessary motion in anything. You were really focused, and if anything, I think you could give a little bit more on your face, or kind of like. There's a better way of phrasing that, but like, I think.
Wait, how much is enough now? Because I feel like I'm getting mixed up messages. Like, are we allowed to smile?
I know, but I think it's already like getting to an even disposition is already really good. But then like the next step is also, I think, guiding the listener. Maybe with some. I don't know exactly how to put that as far as facial expressions. Like, you don't want to be playing smiling or anything either, but maybe I think that goes hand in hand with the dynamics, kind of guiding the listener through the different sections of the different emotions. But Lucy, the thing I'll add with that is the articulations as well. I think you have a really nice kind of mid legato eighth note going on, But for this style, I think it would be nicer to have some crisper eighth notes, like thump, bum, 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 and it'll feel a little bit lighter. But yeah, since we have more time today, maybe can you try the beginning section a little bit, and can you try to play all the dynamics written, and also phrase kind of following the shape of the line. So dum bum bum bum, that one a little bit less. Dum da 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 dum bum. So feel like you're leading into the eighth notes and keep those really crisp. So can we try a little under tempo and go crazy? Like show us all the dynamics. Really exaggerate it.
Okay.
A little slower. Can you actually back up from your computer just a little bit? The gain is kind of maxed out. So can you play the first two a little bit more kind of, I don't know, in your face, which I know you're not really that kind of person, but just like, hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Okay. Like, let us feel a bit more energy there, and bring it down when you start the eighth note so that you can do a crescendo.
Okay.
Okay. Can we vote like who loved that way more than the first time? So much better. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on, I think, next week. Just kind of getting, getting some more energy out from you there, because that was so good. Like, didn't it feel way better? Yeah.
I just wanted to add to that too, that your longer notes sounded better too. I found that at the beginning, because that was a comment that I forgot to make, which is that the long notes sound a little short. Like they could be, I feel like, so it's should be da, 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 but sometimes it felt like you were only playing it for like 2 beats. So I found though this time when you did that, like it was really good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, fantastic, Lucy. Thank you so much. Sorry, we forgot our second round of applause for Sun Young. But oh, hi, Olivia. I'm gonna have you playing at the end. Okay, perfect. So who's next? How are we on time? About 8 minutes. Okay, so
I can play fast.
Can you? I think it'll be less than 8 minutes. So Angie, if you can do a run, and then I think we'll
get to play twice. I wouldn't
over to the other link.
I can play really fast. There won't be many, but I can play really fast.
Okay, what will you be playing today?
Paganini 16, and my face is an open book, so I'm just ready.
Cool, and it'll be the whole thing this time, right?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Angie, would you mind just tilting your screen down if possible, just a little bit, so we can see more of you?
My screen does not tilt.
Okay,
It would involve construction, which we don't have time for.
No
like,
problem.
All right. I think you got a pretty good view.
Yeah, that's great.
Let me just get a few notes out.
Angie, yes, that was so much better than last time. How did it feel?
It was still bad, but it was much better.
No, it was not bad at all. And I think it was much better than every time I've ever heard it, actually. Like, very, very, very big improvement. Yeah. It was. It was. Don't let that one little baby mistake that you made with the memorization deter from the entire thing.
Which oh yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. That was funny.
Yeah, but you won't, like, I'm sure, like, most of you guys, if you haven't played this, you guys didn't even necessarily notice that. Yeah, like, you just caught it. Excellent job. So, yeah, let's hear some feedback, maybe as far as comparing to how you guys heard this last time from Angie. It was just the first page, I think. And yeah, any, oh, and Olivia, just to fill you in, we're focusing on kind of involuntary motions when under stress. I think you had phrased that pretty eloquently earlier, Angie. But yeah, any feedback?
Nice poker face. Really. Yeah, I didn't even know what you guys were talking about the mistakes. So I also was really impressed by all your scales, the chromatic scales, the shifts. They're so smooth. And that's something I'm always struggling with, smooth shifts. So, and how quickly your fingers move too. And I found it was faster, of course, this time, but you were still so much in control. And even despite Zoom, I found the dynamic changes came out well too. And I think that's something we had commented on last time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome feedback, Sonia. Anyone else?
Bring it on. I can take
Yeah,
it.
let's hear from everyone. Maybe Olivia?
I think like what you were mentioning, well, if you're mentioning like involuntary things while you play under stress, like honestly, I didn't notice any. Like you had such a poker face, you were playing really well. What I did hear was a little bit of like hesitation sometimes, probably in parts that were maybe a little bit more difficult or newer. Like the beginning was a rock solid, like in comparison to last time, it was absolutely beautiful. But I guess like maybe I'm assuming like in the second page or like past the part that you played last time, it's still like in the beginning phases of practice or like in the beginning phases of practice, right? Or like in few weeks. So yeah, but it's pretty solid. Like it's pretty good though.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, like I didn't notice any really involuntary like of your face or like hesitations with your body. Like everything was very confident.
Yeah, I think, and that's fairly new, I think, for you, Angie, too. Like that, even in the past weeks, I think you've made a really big conscious effort in keeping really like calm when you play. And I think that also comes with the fact that you know this piece very well now, so that gives confidence as well. But that's really a big improvement. What about you guys, Jennifer and Lucy?
Yeah, like you said that you are very expressive, but you didn't show anything. So good poker face.
Hey, Lucy, what about you?
You guys were talking about mistakes, but I didn't hear anything, or your face didn't show any mistakes that you made. So good job.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest improvements, at least from your last performance, Angie, is that we had been talking about how before, when you were playing through, like, you know, this piece, if you guys have ever looked at Paganini 16, is just 16th notes. It's like a block of black ink on the page, and there's not very many dynamics other than like sforzandos and different things like that. But yeah, it's really hard to bring out phrasing. And I think that, Lucy, you can, in your Bach, it's kind of a similar thing. It doesn't give you that much guidance. And this week, or this time when you played, you really, really guided the listener more, kind of bringing out certain notes. And yeah, it was just a lot more interesting to listen to, like dynamic wise, phrasing wise. So great work on that, Angie. Yeah, you deserve a 2-week Paganini vacation as promised. And then we will, let's migrate over to the other Zoom link. And yeah, I'll see you guys in like 1 minute. Bye-bye.